Pokemon Legends ZA has finally released, and I have been lucky enough to get my hands on it on release day. I've played for a couple of hours and wanted to give you guys a video with some of my first impressions on the game, on what I personally liked and disliked in my 3 hours of playtime. Let's go. Right, so the first thing to be said about the game is that the cinematics are absolutely stunning. The detail and life in them look like something just out of a Pokemon movie. It is amazing to see. The one bad thing that comes with that though is that there's no voice lines for any of the characters. So you pretty much have to read all of the dialogue, which in my perspective and in my opinion gets a little bit boring. I found myself skipping through some of the dialogue and not even reading what they were saying because I just got bored of reading everything. Which is a real shame because had they had dialogue, I would have sat and I would have listened to them and it would have been more of a cinematic movie-like experience, which is what it seems like is trying to be shown. But yeah, so cinematics look great, but there's no dialogue with that, so take that in mind. The next thing to talk about is that this is not a game where you're going to be admiring the scenery. For the most part, it's just low-res buildings, low-res paintings, low-res floor, low-res wall, low-res window. Yeah, it's not the prettiest game in terms of scenery. But that being said, the trees and the bushes and stuff like that look a lot better than Scarlet Violet, so there's that. Where this game really does shine is with the character models, the Pokemon models, and the wild zones. Those, in my opinion, look absolutely great. And for the most part, when you're playing the game, that's pretty much what you're going to be focused on anyway. But yeah, just bear in mind that the overworld, yeah, it's not the prettiest thing to look at in the 3 hours that I played. But yeah, it really does make up for it in the Pokemon battling, and we'll get into that in just a sec. Right, the battling in this game is sick. I was actually quite worried I wouldn't like it, but this is fresh and I don't see myself getting bored of this anytime soon. It really does feel like you are more of a trainer in this game than in other games, and it's not too unfamiliar where you won't like it if you're used to the old games or liked how the old games played out. I also like the fact that it seems that there's more strategy than meets the eye with this, because you can still learn moves like Protect, Growl, Leer, Endure, etc. And I feel like it's going to take a level of skill when using these attacks and abilities, because everything's on a cooldown. You can't just spam everything. It's really fresh and I really like it. I think it's an experience like no other, and I think that's a really good bonus point to get this game if you want to try something new. The customization. I didn't spend too much time on the customization in this game because I wanted to really showcase the gameplay and stuff like that. But I had a quick skim and I can confidently say that it's got more options than what Scarlet and Violet did have. I can't wait to put more hours into this game and actually customize my character. Yeah, it really takes you back to the X and Y era of customization, which is an absolute bonus. One of the things I must admit I didn't expect in this game is that alphas are back. So if you want an oversized Bunnelby for whatever reason, or if you want an oversized Bellsprout like me, your dreams have just come true, because you can catch new alpha Pokemon in Pokemon Legends EA. One thing I didn't particularly like with this game is how easy it seems. You already have integrated EXP share like in Scarlet and Violet, and then there's this new system which is called Mabel's Research, where it allows you to get TMs and other items for quests such as catching Pokemon. I think the biggest part that I didn't like about it is the fact that you no longer have to complete the Pokedex for the Shiny Charm. You just complete all of these Mabel's quests and there you go, the Shiny Charm is right at the bottom. There's also new breakables in the overworld, which when your Pokemon uses an attack to break such breakable, they get EXP from that. So you don't even have to battle to get EXP for your Pokemon anymore, which I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of this one, and I think a lot of people aren't going to be a massive fan of it either. But yeah, it's a thing which makes it even easier for you to level up your Pokemon now. Another thing that's quite interesting is that your Pokemon no longer evolve on their own. You sort of have to like click on them to evolve them. This is actually quite a nifty change in my opinion, because you don't have to press the B button every single time that your Pokemon's evolving and you don't want them to evolve, so you can sort of choose when you want your Pokemon to evolve or not. Yeah, I thought this was quite a nifty change. I actually am a fan of this one, and I think a lot of people are going to be a fan of it too, because, you know, if I want to keep my baby Pokemon or my baby Shiny as a baby, they can now do that without me having to press any buttons. Absolute bonus. The last thing I wanted to touch on is not an impression, it's just so you guys don't forget to pick up your free Routes mystery gift, which has a Gardevoir, right? So you'll be able to get Mega Gardevoir absolutely for free. Don't forget to pick it up, because I think it's only out for a couple of months. Right, and that is it for my first impressions on Pokemon Legends ZA. Don't get me wrong, the game isn't perfect by any means, but the game is fun, and I think that is the most important part about a Pokemon game. Yeah, I hope you guys give it a go. I understand that the game has received a lot of slack from the community, but I truly believe it's not as bad as what everybody deemed it to be. And yeah, once again, it's incredibly fun. And with that, guys, much love, Oddcypher out.